Grand Rising. So this one today is a little more kind of depressing in a way. This is a call to action to bring Kenlee Zeroff home. So when I was pregnant with this little guy right here, I was asked to be in a podcast. And when I was on this podcast, I had a video pop up. I can't remember if it was on TikTok or Facebook or what it was, but it was this woman talking about how her daughter was medically kidnapped by DCF in Florida. And the things that she was saying were very alarming. I'm like, if this is true, this is like corruption. This is child trafficking. This is heartbreaking, like so heartbreaking. And then after I heard her story, I was added to this Stop CPS from Legally Trafficking Children. And I was blown away, you guys. I was blown away by the amount of stories of parents who are unjustly having their children removed, and they're having to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to fight to get their children back. And I'm not saying all cases with the CPS or DCF. I'm not saying that all situations. There are situations, yes, that I have read where I'm like, oh, not that I necessarily agree, but like, you know, you were kind of, you know, there's some situations that, yes, kids are sometimes better off being removed. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they haven't done good things. But there's a lot of really, really bad things going on right now by CPS, DCF, I think the other one's DSS or DHS, whatever it is. Whatever these groups are, the HHS, whatever. It's terrifying. So I'm going to tell a story about my friend Joy, because I reached out to this woman when I saw her story, and I was like, hey, we're doing a podcast. Little did I know that me reaching out to her would turn into a really beautiful friendship. Her and I talked on the phone for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours while I was pregnant. She's the one who actually got me through my pregnancy, because it was hard. I didn't have a lot of friends while I was pregnant with him. I just had Avalani here. So having somebody to talk to and confide in, and we confided in each other about so many things. You guys, me enjoy it. And her daughter on March 6th, 2024 was taken by DCF for medical reasons. Joy had brought her daughter to the hospital because she had rhinovirus and I think something else. She was sick, and her daughter does have cystic fibrosis. So Joy, the hospital, because she was on she had cystic fibrosis, and Joy did not have her on a new medication called Trikafta, which has a black box label on it. Has horrible side effects that Joy did not feel comfortable putting her child on. As a choice, we should have as a parent, we should have a choice what medications we want our children on and whatever else. It shouldn't just be up to the doctors. Even somebody from the CF Foundation, from where she was from in South Dakota, even kind of warned her, hey, this is a new medication. I wouldn't put your child on it. So Joy listened to that. Not only did Joy listen to that, but since Joy has had her daughter, she has recorded her incidences in the hospitals, which I saw all the videos. Before this even happened with DCF, she has videos of her talking to doctors. There's one incident where in her daughter's room, because of the breathing issues of CF, she found black mold under the sink in a hospital. And she had a complaint. She wanted her daughter moved out of that room because there's mold, and that's not good for her daughter's health. She's a very, very good advocate for her daughter's health. Very good advocate. And again, she recorded every situation. Even in Florida, where it's illegal to record, which I'm going to tell you right now, if you are ever in a situation with CPS, DCF, the hospitals, police officers, record everything. Turn your camera on and record everything. Record it all. Because I'm telling you right now, there are situations where DCF, CPS, doctors are flipping the script and creating their own assumptions, and they're twisting people's words around, and they're making up lies. This is actually happening. I've seen proof of this. So anyways, I watched the body cam footage of DCF showing up at Joy's house. The police officers didn't even know why they were there. They're like, what are we here for, drugs? You know, but they're there to help DCF come knock on door to door. Door to door, hey, we're here to take your kid. We're going to traffic her off in the system here. You're going to go put a little girl who already is ill, like already has health issues. You're going to take her away from her mom, who loves her dearly, and is a great loving mom. And you're going to put her with foster parents who punish her for crying because she misses her mom. Not only that, but Kenlee was also talking about a monster coming in her in the middle of the night at the foster parents' house. So what is happening to her in the middle of the night? So now Joy has reason to believe that her daughter may be being molested. Possibly, who knows? Not to mention too, Joy, when she was there, saw an ashtray outside, which people who are like those kids who have cystic fibrosis are not supposed to be around smokers. And so when you see this stuff, how the foster parents are not being precautious when it comes to her daughter's health, it is very concerning. Again, she's also being punished for crying for her mom. And then also told, like, by the foster parent, oh, she lost phone privileges. She can't talk on the phone, or she can't be on the phone. When Joy went to go show her daughter a video, the foster mom said, oh, she's grounded from the phone right now. You guys. This body cam footage of, I'm going to go back to the body cam footage, actually. So the body cam footage of DCF coming in, they showed up to her house, and they asked her some questions, and they said, they didn't even give her, they didn't even care. When Joy answered these, when Joy was answering their questions, they didn't care to even, they weren't even listening. I was watching the video. I watch body language. They weren't even listening to what Joy is saying, okay? This is what they said to her. They said, you're going to go inside, and you're going to, they said, well, we're taking Kenlee today. You're going to go inside. You're not going to show any emotion. Don't be crying. Don't, like, basically telling her exactly how she needs to react about the situation. You're going to go inside. You're going to pack her bag. You're going to tell her that she's just going to go away for a few nights. Kenlee has not been home since 2024. This happened in 2024. We are almost in 2026, you guys. And Kenlee has not been home. And now, coming up on December 4th, they want to terminate Joy's parental rights. She has been literally fighting with them. And they told her, they made her sign a document that she's not allowed to talk about this. However, she signed it after she already told me her story. And they said that this applies to her advocates too. Well, I didn't sign anything. And this is a violation of our constitutional rights. To put gag orders on mothers who are having their children stolen from them is criminal behavior. So I'm going to post a link in this video below. We need to call James Uthemeyer. He is the Attorney General for Florida. This is not, Joy's case is not the only one. There's a lot of cases coming to light about what DCF is doing in Florida. There's even the one Maya's story on Netflix, because her mom had her on a medication that the state didn't agree with, but this medication was helping her daughter. And the mom ended up killing herself. So Joy has another older daughter who's 16, I believe now. She's just turned 16 a little bit ago. And this has been really hard on both of them, but not only hard on Joy and Addie, but also hard on Kenlee. She is alone. She is Avalani's age. I have cried for this mom. Avalani, my own daughter, who is about to be 8 years old, again, the same age, she's 6 months older than Kenlee, doesn't even like going to her meanies right now without me. So I couldn't imagine if strangers came up to my door and took her away from me, the damage and trauma that would cause on my child. So traumatic. So heartbreaking, so sad. And then the doctors, right, with this whole case of Joy, one of the doctors tried to claim that Kenlee needed a lung transplant and that this is a serious issue. She needs to be on this medication because she needs a lung transplant, which was never true. She never needed a lung transplant. She wasn't even there. And then after she got put on Trikafta, I read the medical records. Her breathing started getting worse, which is what Joy was worried about, her being on this medication, Trikafta, which I have looked at the medication, and there's a lot of side effects to it. And then Joy told the court, I listened to the court records. I listened to all of the court hearings. I helped organize all of her court stuff. I mean, this woman is very organized, okay? She has lots of proof. So whatever they decide on the 4th and 5th of this month, Joy has a civil lawsuit against DCF and the state of Florida and Santa Rosa County for what they've done to her, because they have said that she has not changed her way of thinking. And then the judge, right, was like, oh, well, if she hasn't had all of her vaccines, she can have them again. That shouldn't affect anything. Buddy, you're not a doctor. And to say that kids can have their vaccines all over again is very damaging. Getting them in the first place is damaging. Whether or not you agree with it, that's fine. You can look at the side effects. It doesn't matter if she has a medical condition and now you're injecting foreign ingredients into her body and heavy metals. That could make her health much worse. So Joy told the court, and I listened to the court hearing. She said, I will record myself giving her this medication every day. Please just give my child back. They won't even let her have unsupervised visitation. And when Joy is there with her daughter, she lets her daughter know, I'm fighting for you. I'm fighting for you. You know, she'll say it quietly, because if she says anything to her daughter, she gets in trouble. So her daughter just thinks that her mom, so these people are making children believe that their parents aren't fighting for them or care about them because they're not allowed to talk about the case of their children. And I feel like, I wonder if these DCF workers even have kids themselves to even understand the psychology behind a child. Because what they're doing, again, is so traumatic and so damaging that I'm like, I can't even imagine. Like, I can't even imagine what Joy is going through. I can't even imagine being in her situation. So, again, this is a call to action. We need to call James Uthemeyer, leave a message. Just say, you know, and I'm going to post, again, the link has about the podcast. The podcast is a little bit, it's a little whatever. The podcast is on there. She's talking about her story. And she was very scared, if you can tell in the video, on the podcast. She was very afraid to talk about, the situation because of the abuse that she has taken from DCF, which I have heard the recordings and how they speak to Joy. They're very condescending when they speak to her. Oh, well, Kenlee's worried that she comes home this, this, and this. Like, they actually know her daughter. They're, like, making up stuff about her daughter. Oh, of this. Oh, of Kenlee, you know. What? These guardian ad litems, DCF, foster parents will never care about a child as much as the actual biological parent. Usually. For the most part. Like I said, there's some situations where some parents, like, I'm not totally against the organization. Sometimes there are situations where, yes, a child may need to be removed because it is receiving severe abuse. However, at the same time, I also feel like you should get these parents help. Rather than taking their children away and making them fight tooth and nail and pay all this money to get their kids back, you should help them get help. Take those resources that you're paying for that child in the foster care and help these parents get help. But they're being charged thousands of dollars to take these classes, thousands of dollars for attorneys, thousands of dollars for court fees, and all this other stuff. This is a child trafficking system, and it's not okay. It's time to bring Kenlee home. She deserves to be with her mom. She doesn't need to be with foster parents who are abusing her and grounding her and punishing her for crying for her own mom. Joy Zuroff is a loving mother, and she has been through hell and deserves to have Kenlee home with her, and Kenlee deserves to come home. So, again, I'm going to post the link in here. We need to call James Uthemeyer and tell him that they need to investigate this case in Santa Rosa County. Again, there's a podcast there. You can listen to her story, listen to her speak about it, so you know more details on the case. But it's very heartbreaking. Again, I have cried multiple times for her, for Kenlee, for Addie, even for my own child. Thinking about if we were in this situation, I've cried. Like, I can't even imagine, you guys. Again, DCF, CPS come up knocking on people's doors. Oh, we're here to take your kids. I mean, this is like Nazi shit, what's happening. So, call to action. It's time to bring Kenlee home. Okay? Love you. Have a great day.